What's up guys, some more J rulers have been revealed and we've been introduced to some more new mechanics with these two J rulers. First we have Yoxatot, the Chaos of 1000 Doors. He has the new symbol skill or effect, however you want to look at it, as Limit. And Limit is, you get a counter for whatever, specifically with Yogg, it's different for every card I believe, but you pay a cost on the ruler side, and when he enters the field, he gains limit of that cost plus 1. So if you pay, like, let's say 3, he would get 4 limit counters, and he gains specific effects depending on how many limit counters he has. And because limit, of course, specifies like an amount of time, I guess you could say, like it's an unlimited amount of time, during the end turn these cards will lose their limit counters, and then the effects will of course decrease because they don't have as many counters. So I actually think this is a really cool mechanic because it kind of makes up, like, it lets you do some pretty crazy things with some cards in terms of like making them really overpowered or something, but not thinking it's going to be too much of an issue because for example, like, let's say you have Reflect. A common issue with Reflect is, like, if you're both in the same place in the game but your opponent is using Reflect and has like 3 Change the Worlds on the field, they're eventually just going to outpace you because of all of the search power and stuff. But if, let's say, Reflect had something like Limit, where it was like, you can, remove 4 counters to search a card, but then the next time you try to do it, it's like 6 counters, and then 8 counters, and then 10 counters, and it had that for like all of the effects, and it was only like cheaper to use the effects because he had higher limit. That would actually be really cool, and it would make it really fair. So I think Limit is going to be really interesting, particularly because, like I said, it just like kind of makes for some really cool card design. You can maybe like really change the tide of a churn, like kind of like how Yogg is. He destroys all resonators with lower cost than the cost of his limit counters. So like, let's say he enters with 4 limit counters, because realistically most people just play like 4-drop resonators and less. There's 5-drops like Arthur and Celestial as well, but okay, let's say he has 5 limit counters and you destroy their whole board. Next turn, if they, like, let's say, go Celestial into a Lucifer, you're only going to have 4 limit counters because he loses 1 every turn. So now the Celestial won't die. And then the turn after that, maybe their 4-drop won't die. And it keeps kind of going lower and lower. So, like, you gain the cool effect, but it doesn't, like, linger there and make it so it's annoying and, like, too overpowered or anything. So I think Limit's really cool. And then we have, with Mars, the Dark Commander of Fire, we have Mana. So Mana is really interesting because I think it's actually like the perfect combination that they put it on fire. So Mana is essentially mana that you can float. So in Mars's case, it says it has 5, but the only kind of situation, or the only requirement is that you can only remove mana counters to pay for ancient magic cards. So cards, essentially we only had Black Moonbeam, but of course that won't work for this either because this produces red and not black. But there's 2 new spells that were added to this set of spoilers that had ancient magic in their category. So essentially Mars can use those specific spells by using the mana counters, and it's really cool because, like, it was like really, one of them was like a really big burn spell. It was like you could do like 2000 damage if you awaken it, and the awakening cost was like 8, and then the actual cost was like 3, so it costs like 11. But that's pretty cool. Like, red has always been kind of falling behind because we have so many answers to it now, but now I find it actually really interesting. Like, the Mars ruler starts with 2 mana counters. You can then flip and have 7 because it adds 5 more, and then the enter effect adds another 5 if you can remove from play the specific card that it has in its text. It's like Demon of the Crest or something, and so that would give him 12. And then if you remove 11, you'd not only have 1 left, but you could use that burn spell and do 2000 damage for free. And I mean, with how many counter spells we have now and how much life heal we have, I don't think this is going to be like really annoying and like overpowered. I don't want anyone to look at 2000 damage and be like, this is crazy, because there's just so many counter spells now. But it's really cool that the ruler gets to do this. And like, I really noticed that, like, I like that the artwork for this card is just so cool, because like, I could see the little demon like banishing itself and going into form this bow that Mars is holding, and then it becoming like 10 times the size, and then him shooting this arrow that does 2000 damage to your face. It's just like really cool. Like, I like the concept of this whole mana thing, especially because they made it so that it only works with ancient magic. I've been thinking about how cool it would be to, like, you can play like a heavy green deck, and only have like the 2000 burn spell or something in terms of like the you don't even play red really, you just play like red green and then like off green or something, and then you use the ancient magic for free because you can like you make your deck revolve around Mars's mana counters, and then you use like the spell for free, and then they go, you know, I'm gonna activate my counter spell, and then you like use Seal of Awakening Light or whatever, or like Wall of Wind, and negate their card, and so they can't negate your card, and then like it goes through and then kills them. That would be really cool. Like I feel like green is just gonna add an interesting concept. Or you can play like the new torrent cards we saw, and it's like your first card will be the free card that you use due to removing the counters with Mars, and then the second card will be torrent and be paid regularly, and then you get the torrent effect. So like these cool combinations of like how all of these things are shaping up is really exciting, and I'm happy with the way they've been adding everything. It just seems really cool. So let me know what you guys think, if you guys like these new mechanics. The limit and mana is just really interesting to me. I hope you guys are liking it too. But leave a comment in the section below, and make sure to subscribe because I have more videos coming out, and I'll definitely catch you guys next time.